I'm just looking at Goddard Street, the new build there that started at the same time as the bus station and car park. Some of these houses are almost finished, but what's surprising, they've all got chimneys. And whether there's some modern way of it's just to get rid of damp, but nobody has a chimney nowadays, do they? Can you even use a coal fire or anything like that? If you swing round, all these houses here are fairly new, not a chimney inside. But the build is moving on. There's always lots of staff about. I know they've got brickers, whereas the bus station, car park, etc. is Lego build, but nevertheless, but this is supposed to go on till sometime next year. On West Street, this is just getting too stupid for bloody words, isn't it? What's it been, 8 weeks now, is it? Still these barriers are here, still no sign of any road work. I have reported it, but obviously nothing's been done. But it's just, I don't know, crazy. Because they fall over, they go into the road, block the pavement. No reason to have them. I'll keep repeating about the floods in West Street, but I mean the rest of the bloody Crewe's no better, is it? This is Viagra. You can go fishing in here, and everywhere you go in Crewe you've got these massive floods. The council don't seem capable of actually doing a road that actually goes into grids. Well, we did see last week that the shops are closing. Wilko's closing down because it's gone into administration, so get down there might be some bargains, but it's now reported that the old Argos is going to be an estate agent. It seems a bit of a big uptown expensive place to be an estate agent, because my mother was the first ever qualified auctioneer in the country going back in the day. Anybody that had a house years ago, CJUs and Sons, and just up Broad Street from where we are, Hallam's, they're all small offices because you don't want a really great big 2-storey building for an estate agent. Well, by Asda they have finished the tidy up. It is obviously a lot better. There's no, well, just spotted one weed, but they've got rid of all the weeds. They haven't done like the brickwork on the wheel. They could have tidied the wheel up a bit, couldn't they? They have jet wash, not very well, but it's all been cleaned up. They've had a bit of a go at the graffiti, because graffiti there and a bit further up, they've had a go at that. And all these paving slabs are now down, they're still messing, so it's taken a long time. I said last week it should be finished, but they're still messing, so it is actually sort of open. So we've got all the new paving slabs. Well, the old car parts, some more Lego parts come. Well, again, still that top bit's not done. And surprise, they've got a big puddle. But again, that crane's virtually not moved. Again, it's the invisible workforce. It's just like repeat. There's another lorry at the back with a load of concrete as well. So, and the things are all going to excitingly happen. We've just been waiting for these bits. Well, I'm telling my house, and even more scaffolding's going up. Perhaps he's taking some scaffolding and putting the end bit. Goddard Street, and they brought in the super-sized crane. They do this when they put in the... We used to have floorboards, didn't we, and joists and things, but now it's all concrete blocks and concrete floors. It's a pretty big crane. Lorry flashing lights, presumably he's got it coming like long strips, don't you, the floor. Just down the Woody Way, and this piece of land all the way along here has been up for sale, rent, buy, whatever you want, develop something on it, for God's sake, for like years, and nobody's taking it up. It's a good stretch of land. Well, the old pizza place in the Woody Way again. Ages ago, it's got the planning permission for the new supersonic super duper eatery, but nothing whatever has happened to it. So I wonder what's happening with that. So I understood they had actually got the planning permission and everything. Well, Chester Street, now they just decided they're going to start digging big holes and closing the road properly. I don't know what they're digging, but got a digger there and half the payment up and the road up. Well, I've managed to spot 2 men working. I think there's even a third. It's been announced over the weekend that the new shops won't now be completed till 2025 October. And that's completed, not filled. So everything's way behind. And I do get a prize for these 2 men. Well, around Asda they've packed up and gone home. They could have finished the job, couldn't they? There's like an odd brick here, an odd brick there. Showing a bit of love and care to the old wheel. Still got bricks missing, bits of concrete where there should be bricks. It is better, the weeds have gone. We've had a bit of a clean up, but all these flags are now down. For some reason they've missed 2, one there and one there. Why they haven't done them there? I'm trying to decide these wild flower beds that was. Have they ripped them off and left them? Or is all this coming new stuff? Or weeds? Well, somebody's actually doing some work today. Putting these big bits of concrete in. And 2 men looking at it and saying left a bit, right a bit, up a bit, down a bit, stop. Why they've suddenly gone to this end when they haven't sort of finished the other end. So there is a bit more activity today. Certainly not devilishly exciting. The interesting thing was, people were watching the other day, and these posts here, see these struts, they were yanking and turning and messing and presumably trying to get them posts to go straight. So whether that will now go in is open to debate. Or between the end bit and the bus station they're having a bit of a levelling up and putting pretty stickers in and things. So whether the next stage of the development is due, we'll find out soon enough, and no doubt. Apparently the new bus station, temporary bus station they built in 6 months ago, they're having problems. It's got headache. Quite a few of these ramps seem to have a headache, and the bolts are coming undone. You know, this was the one they built a few months ago. It inspires us all with confidence. We have got somebody working, I'm not sure exactly what they're doing, apart from putting a piece of metal in and pumping it with a bloody big hammer. Maybe that's to fill the gaps. Or that's to add on other things, because they seem to have actually snuck in without me seeing. Find it. These metal frames, which I'm assuming is going to be windows, so you can't fall out. Yeah, I can see them a bit better, a bit further up. You see all the way up with the plastic or metal frames, and where they're going to be windows, because these bits where the bit of fencing is, zap as much as we're getting, or there's going to be windows there. The old crane's still going, trying to get that bit into that bit. And lots of hammering and thumping. Just see there's two of them thumping hell out of it to try and make it go in. It's still a bloody great gap anyway. Oh, well, you can see this on video, but all the bits, that's light coming through, that's the gap, that's another gap, that one I didn't get one gap. And when they built the pyramids, it wasn't done for them. Well, everywhere you look there's this daylight coming through, so there's a very gap there. No doubt somebody will say, oh, it's by design. I'm just trying to puzzle it all out, and if you look here, there's holes there, another one with holes, so presumably it's at least another 3 stories to go on that bit. That one's got holes in, but there's nothing there, so presumably they're going to put some of them big ones right up to the end. So it's going to be a monstrosity and a half by the time we finish. I wonder when they're going to start cladding it, and then you can hide all the mistakes. I mean the other things. I'm just looking around at Asda car park, and what do you see? Loads and loads of free spaces. So why the hell do we need another multi-storey car park for 300 cars when there's clearly no need for it, is there? Now, the bus station used to be thriving, didn't it, the old bus station, and now there's virtually nobody queuing for buses. I did see the other day these 2 men going along and knocking bits of metal in. So I found out what it is now. They put all these metal strips, very pretty. But we're assuming that is to hold the cladding. We just hope that it's not like Grenville, don't we? Because this is Cheshire East. But there has been a bit more activity this week, so a lot more noise as well. Well, they do seem to have finished that top bit at long last. But whether we can see, can you see that? It's no level, is it? That bit there is higher than that bit there, and that there is a bloody great gap. Well, there's not a great lorry from Swan with all the bits on it, so whether the problem is sort of logistics, you know, bits are not coming in time, so everything sort of stops for a fortnight while we get the bits. So what? We've certainly done a bit more this week. And while the boat people enjoy the Crewe Arms and the Royal and whatever, we've still got this guy sleeping in the shop doorway. Chester Street, they've finished whatever it is they were doing. Just see they dug the pavement road up there, but it's still closed. There's no reason whatever for it to be closed. Just looking round at that next to it as well. Not a lot to be said about the roof, is there? Just at Lyceum Square, we've just been in the market hall. The suffragette exhibition is actually open today, because they did have the chairs but you couldn't get to it. But on Tuesday the whole of her family came down, or some of the relatives came down to see it. So today somebody's there and you can actually see it. This weekend there's a big event. Well, the stupid thing is here we've got the big display that's not on, that could be telling everybody what it's about. But it's the opening event, even though it opened weeks ago. So they're supposed to have that big puppet, 13-foot high puppet, among other things. There's all sorts going on this weekend. So I'd say come and watch the big screen and it'll tell you, but it's just sat there doing nothing. Total waste. We did mention about Wilko. Now apparently they've got till Wednesday next week for bids, and there's been quite a lot of bids for Wilko, Poundland and one or two others. Now whether they then keep open all the shops or whether Crewe survives that, but there's hope on the horizon. I'll keep our fingers crossed for that. Well, that's interesting. The old Argos, though, it was reported, and we did say in the week it was going to be an estate agent, but we've heard today from a very reliable source it's actually going to be British Heart Foundation, so sooner or later we'll find out who's correct.